right, good afternoon, everyone. We've now been joined with by our Busch Light pole winner for tomorrow's Bass Pro Shops America's Night Race here at Bristol Motor Speedway. That is Alex Bowman. Alex, congratulations on that pole win. Tell us a little bit about that lap, and then we'll go to media for questions.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I thought we struggled a little bit in practice, more than I was expecting. And then really in qualifying, I had a lot of grip. I was a little bit too tight, and it was one of those situations where you run a lap and you're like, it's either going to be really good or really slow, because when you're tight, you just slow down until you can turn. So, yeah, I mean, I've obviously after the first round felt pretty good about it, and thankful to start up front and qualify well. Obviously, qualifying's been not our strongest suit over the years, so being a cutoff race and everything, starting up front is definitely important.
All right, we'll now go ahead and take questions from the media. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We'll start here with Bob.
Bob Parker's Fox Sports. It looks like you did a little over 70 laps on your first run on tires, so I'm curious, did it feel like a year ago here, or did it feel like last spring here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's back to where it was a year ago. I didn't really see any unusual wear. They don't fall off that much. So definitely curious as to what the variable is there, right? I think there's a lot of smart people that'll figure out what that variable is between the tests here and the spring race and everything, with the same stuff causing different results. But yeah, I think we're in for Bristol a year ago, more than Bristol in the spring, unless all the rubber comes up off the track overnight for whatever reason. I think that would create the spring race again, but barring that happening, I think we're kind of normal Bristol again.
All right, we'll go to Davey and then Jacob. Davey, right? Yep, thank you, bud.
Given that now you have the best starting spot in the house, I don't know if you talked to Blake yet, but do you think this will change your strategy in terms of approaching it, going for stage points now that you got track position versus trying to set yourself up for the win?
I think typically Bristol races, like the stage points guys are the guys that contend for the win, just the way the strategy falls. But if that's not the case, I think it's obviously important for us to lock in through the stages if we can, just because of how crazy this place can get and how easy it is to get caught up in somebody else's mess. It's, sometimes not getting the finish you want is frustrating, like last weekend was for us, but guaranteeing yourself those points through stages is important to do when you can. So yeah, we'll see how the strategy stacks up, but I think it'll be kind of business as usual.
Okay, we'll go Jacob, and then Zach, and then we have Steven over here as well. Go ahead.
Jacob Seelman, Race Face Digital. Alex, first true short track pole for you, and I know maybe traditionally the results haven't always shown for you on the short tracks, but you were 4th here in the spring, 8th at Martinsville. Is it a case where you and Blake have finally found more of a feel of what you're looking for this year on the short tracks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We've won Martinsville and Richmond. Obviously, that was with the old car, but yeah, I mean, I think we've just been better since the playoffs have started, really. We've unloaded faster. We've had just more raw pace in general. So I don't really think we're doing anything different. Just things have worked out a little better for us. And certainly going into qualifying, obviously had what I needed to make a really comfortable lap, and it worked out to be really fast.
All right, we'll go to Zach here. Okay, go ahead.
NASCAR.com. Alex, congratulations on this. To show this kind of pace and to have this improvement now at this point of the season, how critical is that for you and this 48 team?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important, right? Like, we have the tools that we need to go do it. It's just a matter of using them correctly and going to work and finding the results. So we've definitely had streaks of great runs throughout the season, and had some runs that haven't been so great too. So obviously starting the playoffs strong is really important for us, and continuing that positive momentum forward is really key.
All right, Steven.
Steven Toronto, CBS Sports. Alex, I actually had to look this up just to make sure, but I don't know if you're aware of this, but this is the first pole that you've won for a race that isn't the Daytona 500 since Phoenix in 2016. I know you said qualifying hasn't been you and your team's strong suit over the years, but does it feel like that long since you got a pole like this?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we qualifying's probably been our weakest link over the years. So definitely feels good to be able to change that here lately. Obviously, we've qualified pretty well the last couple weeks. It's weird because I don't feel like I'm doing anything different. I've worked really hard all season, and qualifying's certainly been something that I've continued to try to improve on. And if anything, probably studied a little less, particularly for qualifying this week. But yeah, I mean, I think we've just had faster race cars here lately, and it's showing.
And you mentioned this race may resemble more of a traditional Bristol race than what we saw back in the spring. If that's the case, and if track position is really, really important, how does this help set you up for the first two stages and building a points buffer, and how that can help you potentially advance the round of 12?
Yeah, I think it sets us up really well, honestly, the best you can, right? So obviously pit stall 1 is big every time, and our pit crew's been on it this year, so that'll be really good for us. Honestly, we struggled a little bit in practice, so we have some work to do on our race trim stuff, but yeah, I mean, it puts us in the best position we can start, and gives us the best pit stalls, so we'll have that going for us.
Thanks, Alex.
Yep.
All right, and we'll end up front with Kelly.
Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. Alex, how do you sum up the last 2 to 3 months? You go from getting the needed win at Chicago, having to answer questions about your contract, and then all of a sudden here is the performance turnaround that everybody has been waiting for, and you guys have said, we can do this, and here it is.
I mean, I think that's just the story of my Cup career in general, right? It's always been that way. There has never been, I mean, years we won the second most races of anybody, and it was still the same questions and the same stuff. So, yeah, I mean, just continuing to try to improve, and I think our team is in a good spot right now. But, yeah, honestly, the last couple months, maybe the rumor mill got going more than normal, but I feel like I've answered those same questions for, 5 or 6 years now. So, I'm used to it at this point.
All right, Alex, congratulations again, and we wish you the best luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.